Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to my lovely lecturer and also my fellow classmate. I'm Shazza Muklisa binti Isma Haris and my partner is.
I'm Nurani Bagisha binti Zulkifli.
So before I start with our presentation, I would like to share some picture with you guys. Can you guess what this picture about? Yes, it's about online learning, or we call as e-learning. So today, me and Rani will going to talk about advantage and disadvantage of online learning. What is online learning? Online learning is the newest and the most popular form of distance education. As we all know, now we are facing with pandemic COVID-19 virus. Everybody have to stay at home, including the students. Therefore, the way of learning also changed from ordinary learning to online learning. Online learning also often referred to as e-learning, and it includes online courses, exam, and gamified quizzes. First, okay, I will move on to the advantage online learning. I will give two points about advantage of online learning. The first one is lower cost and saving. The second one is flexible environment study. Nowadays, online learning is seen as more economical than being held face to face as in the classroom. If the learning in the classroom is still held, there are still other costs that need to be borne to by a student, such as eating, accommodation, transportation that has to be paid throughout the study on the campus. If learning are held online, these costs can be reduced with just internet facilities at home or on their respective device or no matter where they are. Therefore, students can indirectly save and use the saving for other facilities such as they can buy computer equipment and upgrading internet facilities to facilitate online classes. I will move to the next point, flexi- flexible environment study. By online learning, students can choose their own learning environment that will meet their needs. It can be anywhere, such as study room, bedroom, and also at the cafe, as long as they can meet and hear what their lecturers say. The next one is students also can fix their own study schedule around their coursework more easily because they don't have to log in at a specific time for a live season, but study can interact with the lecturer and classmate in the discussion forum. So that's all from me. I will move the next point to Rainy.
Hello everyone, I'm Raini, partner to Shazza. In this presentation, as you may have heard before, Shazza has explained to you about the advantages of online learning. So it is my turn to tell you about the disadvantages of online learning. If possible, I would like to ask you to be more focused as I explain about the disadvantages of online learning because it is very important for all students. If you do not want to miss listening, you better listen diligently, okay? Okay. Before we go into the content, I will divide my presentation into two parts. So, let's start, shall we? The first disadvantage is about cheating prevention during online assessment is complicated. Unfortunately, one of the biggest disadvantages of online learning continues to be cheating through various methods. Compared to on-campus students, online students can cheat on assessment more easily as they take assessment in their own environment and while using their personal computer. The student cannot be directly observed during assessment without a video feed, making cheat detection during online assessment more complicated than for traditional testing procedure. Additionally, without a proper identity verification system in place, students taking online assessment might be able to let a third party take the assessment instead of themselves, resulting in a wholly fraudulent test result. In solution, in order to protect the authenticity of online education, anti-cheating measures must be put in place by any online education institution. The most popular anti-cheating tools currently used in online learning are online proctoring systems such as Examity, which use various anti-cheating Measures such as automated ID verification and machine learning to detect fraudulent test taker. Now, let's move on to the second point, which is lack of communication. Okay, communication plays an important role in the learning process. It enables the sharing of information, thought, and ideas which contribute to learning. When you imagine a traditional classroom, lively group discussion and students raising their hands to ask the instruction question like comes to mind. Admittedly, these moments do not arise as naturally in online classes. For some individuals, these face-to-face interactions are a must to bring the material to life. Nevertheless, it is possible to bring more social interaction to online learning through competition, scheduled Q&A session with an instructor, and discussion channel. The solution to this second content is online learning should be seen as a complement and extension of classical form of learning. Not even the best online course can fully replace the personal contact with a teacher or the human relationship that develop in a group. So, traditional classes shouldn't be replaced with online layer. Well, that brings us to the end of the section. Now, I like to summarize by online learning is a growing and exciting new way to learn about almost anything. However, learning online is different from learning in a face-to-face setting. You also need to think about the time you have available, your comfort level with using technology, and the equipment that is at your disposal. Based on the content that has been discussed, these two education systems have their advantages and disadvantages. Yet, we cannot say that the system is the best or the worst. According to our assessment, to determine whether online learning is good or bad depends on your individual opinion. You can choose the best and educate yourself well. So, we have reached the end of this presentation, and that's all from us. But before we end this presentation, does anyone want to ask a question? If anyone have any question, we'll be happy to answer them. Anyone? No? No question? Okay, it's okay. Okay, we hope that the presentation has been interesting. Thank you for listening and thank you also for your attention. Bye.
Before we end our presentation, I would like to share some quote from Paul Levinson. Online learning can be lifeline to those who have obstacles such as geographical distance or physical disabilities. Thank you for your time. Thank you for me, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
nice day.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.